I actually felt a little self-conscious while wearing this. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I record on Monday, so last week I didn't get to record and because I was sick. So happy new year, belated new year. So by the time you see this, it's way after New Year's, but happy new year guys. Today we're talking about Club de Nuit Imperiale by Armaf. So this is an interesting fragrance. This is supposed to be a dupe of Delina by Clubs de Marly, if I'm not mistaken. By Clubs. This is supposed to be a dupe of Delina by Perfumes de Marly. I don't have the original of that. I don't have a decant of it or the actual perfume. So I can't tell you one for one how good this is compared to that. But I can tell you how good this is as its own scent. And you can make your determination on whether you like the scent based on that. By this time, you could probably guess what my taste would be compared to yours and make a determination based on that. We're gonna test out Club de Nuit Imperiale by Armaf. So let's do the spray. Off the top, it's pretty sweet, but the sweetness is not the primary scent that you're getting off this. The primary scent that you're getting off this off the top is not sweetness, but flowers. It is very flowery, very delicate. I would say rose. Looking at the notes, I'm looking at the notes that here in front of me. I would say the rose is there, but the rose is not a strong, powerful rose like amethyst or like other scents. I think it's more of a subdued rose. I think the peony there is playing a more prominent part because the rose is not so prominent here. There is a sweetness there. The lychee, I don't really perceive that much. I just perceive a general sweetness. Basically perceive like sweetness with flowers and maybe a little bit of vanilla in the back. But it's a very delicate, a very airy, a very feminine leaning scent. I wouldn't call this unisex. I think it's more feminine than unisex. There's a lot of powderiness there, which I don't see in any other notes. The notes don't really say that there's supposed to be powderiness in here, but I can perceive powderiness in this. I mentioned in a previous video that I attribute musk to clean. Anything that smells musky to me smells like gives a clean vibe or a luxury vibe. This has musk in it and it's giving that same vibe. It smells like an expensive, feminine leaning shampoo or conditioner or lotion. This is what the kind of scent this is giving off. So let's talk about notes for a bit. The notes on the top are lychee, bergamot, and nutmeg. The middle notes are Turkish rose, vanilla, musk, and peony. And the base notes are vanilla, incense, cashmeran, and cedar. As I smell this, I can tell you that what plays a prominent part here, I think, is the rose. I think it's the peony. I think it's the musk, the vanilla. I think that all those middle notes play a prominent part. The top notes, I didn't perceive a lot of that. I think the nutmeg is there just to add a little bit of spiciness there, a little bit of warmth, but not a lot. The other base notes, I think, are just supporting everything else, making it a little bit more rounded. But most of the time, you're going to get those middle notes throughout the experience. This doesn't really change a lot as you wear it. So I wore it for multiple days, and my experience with it was that when you started with it, it just kind of stayed the same throughout the experience. It just kind of stayed the same when you started and it continued. It just got maybe a little bit softer, a little bit deeper, a little bit warmer with time, but not very altered. It didn't really grow or it didn't really have a story to tell. It was just basically, this is a flowery, airy, pretty scent, and it kind of consistently stayed that way. Now, interestingly, this scent gave me some compliments. I got a bunch of compliments from people wearing this scent, which is interesting because it's feminine leaning. So I didn't expect to get a lot of compliments. I actually felt a little self-conscious while wearing this. I could perceive it as very feminine leaning while I was wearing it. Even wearing Carrier Confection, other very feminine leaning scents, this one was to the point where I felt like a fancy older lady. So wearing this around was like, this is the most feminine leaning scent I've worn in a long time. So it made me self-conscious, but I got a bunch of compliments. I got like 3 compliments in the span of maybe 2 days. Everybody who complimented me complimented the scent, not necessarily the scent on me, but the scent itself. So they didn't necessarily say that the scent matched my vibe, but rather that they liked the scent as its own thing. So one of them said that they really liked how soft and how pretty it was. And they asked me for a decant of it, if I could possibly give them one. So I did. I gave them a decant and they really liked it. That was the first time I got compliments on the scent, not on me wearing the scent, if that makes sense. It was an interesting thing. I want to take a second to like appreciate this bottle. I really like this bottle because this bottle has like an iridescence to it. I don't know if you can tell. Can you see that little rainbow shift? It's very pretty. One thing that drives me crazy, I don't know about anybody else, but almost Like both bottles that I have of these have the metal for the Armaf logo kind of off center, and that drives me a little bit off up a wall. Like I don't like that that's off center, and I kind of want to move it, and it kind of budges when I touch it, but I think I'm gonna break it if I keep touching it, so I'm not gonna do that anymore. But it bugs the hell out of me that it's off center. Like they didn't place it correctly. It shouldn't be there. I want it to be in the center. The bottle's very pretty. I like the bottle. The bottle's very nice, and it looks good next to its brother, which is somewhere around there. Oh, it's right here. So like next to its brother, it makes a little nice collection. So having the whole collection together will look very pretty. I'm supposed to get Untold soon, so all three together will look very pretty. Every time I do a review, a lot of you ask me about how things compare to other scents, and especially scents that you have. I decided to do a giveaway. How's that gonna work? I created a form that's gonna be in my YouTube description. All you have to do is complete the form, which is writing your name, writing what fragrance you're interested in, and how you want me to contact you. 1 week after I posted that video, I will contact 3 individuals from that form and get their shipping information to send them a 2 milliliter decant of the fragrance I was talking about. If you're not sure that the notes I'm mentioning and the vibe that I'm describing works for you, you can test it out for yourself now. You don't have to blind buy the scent. And then be ready to get your decant in the mail. I did research on this online, and according to Fragrantica, this has a 4.17 out of 5 with 1,090 votes. So that kind of tells you that people like it. It's not super popular. It's not a super highly rated thing, but people really like it. It's pretty popular. I think almost all the Club de Nuit scents are pretty popular. They're considered like the best of whatever they're duping. It's nice to get it and finally test it myself, because I think all the Club de Nuit scents are pretty well regarded. So now I have 2. I need to get like the whole collection to see if it's really well regarded or not. It's the same thing with the Al Haramain Amber Oud ones. Like all of them are really well regarded, so I want to kind of see them all. Let's talk about longevity and projection. This is a projector, a pretty strong projector. I think it projects around 4 to 5 feet at the beginning. It will make itself known. I think people will actually notice that you're around. I think people will notice that you're spraying something. But as people commented, it's not as strong as my other perfumes. It's a more delicate scent. It's a more soft scent. It's a more bubble scent. So I think it's like 4 at the initial spray, and within like 2 hours, it'll turn into like a 1 or 2 feet type of thing. And it will continue to project throughout. I don't think it ever became just a skin scent. I think it always stayed projecting something, especially on clothes. I think on skin, it'll die down, but on clothes, it continued to project. I still have like a sweater that still smells like this. I have to wash it off. So it is continuously projecting. It is a very strong scent, but it's not very far projecting. So it's very strong. It'll stay around. In terms of, like I said, longevity, it'll stay as long as it's on clothes. It'll stay forever. I think if it's on skin, I think you can expect a good 5 hours out of this, maybe 6 hours out of this, before it dies down to a very intimate, very intimate bubble. Like I said, I don't think it ever turned into like a skin scent, a pure skin scent where you literally have to seek it out on your skin. But I think it kind of stayed within a very small bubble. It's a very good projector. I think all the Club de Nuit scents are very good projectors. So far, I've only had 2. Like, I'm making a generalization, of course, but it's like so far, both of them are very good projectors. Let me mute my computer because it's being annoying. Online people praise this scent a lot for its closeness to Lilina, for its longevity and performance, and also for its scent profile. A lot of people find it fluffy, creamy. It's basically a very pleasant, soft rose scent, and people really like it. So I can agree with everything there. I can't compare it to the Lina specifically, but I can say that it's a very pleasant scent. It's a very nice scent. I think the powderiness there is the only thing that's keeping me from loving it 100%. In terms of scent, it's, I think, one of my most expensive smelling scents. It smells very chic, very classic. In terms of negatives, some people say it might be too sweet. Some people say that it might be too powdery. It's basically, a lot of the negatives come down to scent preferences, and some people complain about the medallion. That's pretty much it in terms of negatives regarding this. And yeah, scent preferences are scent preferences. Like I said, if you agree with my vibe so far on my scents, then you would agree on this. To me, it's a powdery rose, vanilla, and sweet scent. All those together create this scent, but nothing really overpowers anything else. It's pretty well balanced. It's pretty delicate. I think what this reminds me the most is, in my past, I've had experiences with, there's a thing called polvo de maja. in Puerto Rico. It's basically like a powder that my grandmother used to use. My mother still uses it. I think she still has it. It's basically like face setting powder, and it used to be heavily perfumed with flowers. And I think every Puerto Rican from the 90s and 80s would recognize that scent. It's a very flowery scent, and this is what this reminds me of. So it kind of harkens back to that. But for those of you who are not Puerto Rican and can associate with that memory, I think the memory that I would kind of connect this to would be possibly walking through like a rose garden kind of thing. That's the kind of vibe this is giving, because when you walk through a rose garden, you're not actively smelling the roses like immediately. You're just getting that waft in the air of roses and maybe some other flowers in there. So that's what you're kind of getting, and that's what you're kind of experiencing. The rose is there, the rose is muted, the powderiness is there, there's a little sweetness, all that's there, but it's muted. So it's like you're passing through that scent, not necessarily being inundated in that scent like amethyst. If you want to feel like you're walking through a garden of roses, walking through that experience, this is the scent that you're looking for, because this scent kind of embodies that. What do I give it? What is my final score on this? I think for scent, I would give this a 9. I think for projection longevity, I would give this definitely a 9. I think the only reason I wouldn't give it a 10 is because it goes down to a skin scent pretty quickly at like maybe 3-4 hours and stays there. But in clothes, it's a projector forever, so I don't think it's like the top performer. It's a good performer, not the best performer. So I would give it a 9. 9 is an A, not an A+, it's an A. And overall, I think I would give it a 9. I think it's a very good scent. I would definitely use it in certain situations. I'll probably mix it with something else or layer it with something else to maybe pull it away a little bit from the feminine and make it a little bit more masculine. But overall, this is a really nice scent. This is a really good scent. I just have to get over my own gender issues regarding the femininity of this, because it's a construct, man. Who gives a shit? Overall, I really like this, so I recommend it. If you're into roses, if you're into flowers, if you're into powderiness, if you're into sweetness, this is definitely something you should check out. If you don't want to check it out yourself or buy it, then enter the giveaway and maybe you'll win. I'll decant of this so you can smell it yourself and let me know what you think. So let me know your thoughts. What did you think about this scent if you already had it? Are you into rose scents or flower scents? Remember that scents are subjective. What I like isn't necessarily what you like. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and always remember to smell your best, guys. See ya.